This is the value of wrestling, the revolutionary force in wrestling podcasting.
Ladies and gentlemen, I told you I'll be back. I'm right here with another video. This is going to be a new episode, a new program, but we're going to book the Royal Rumble. We're going to book on the road to WrestleMania. We're going to talk about what WWE needs to do on the road to WrestleMania. Join me for a new special by Big Tyme, me, Big Tyme Books It. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, you know I'm back and I'm here. I'm ready to break it down for you. Welcome to the Big Tyme Books It. I'm the Big Tyme. This is the Value Wrestling. Thank you for taking time out of your day to be here while we talk about the Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber, WrestleMania, the road to WrestleMania. How do we get there? How do we go? What's going to play? What do we see going forward? Well, let's talk about Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns and the Royal Rumble. A lot of talk about what's going to go down with it. We know Roman Reigns is going to have to defend his title there. And I think there's only one person that makes sense for him to defend the title against at the Royal Rumble. And that's the one and only Randy Orton. Now, I know a lot of people are not big fans of this idea and think that other stories should be related, that this is a WrestleMania type of match. And it is. It's a big card match, but I definitely think at the Royal Rumble, this is where this card fits in. And we're going to explain why. We can also talk about, looks like Io Sky and Bianca Belair for a rematch and many other things. We're probably going to lead more into that going forward with the Royal Rumble right around the corner, a little over a month away. I know, but it is coming up quick and it is coming up fast. So, ladies and gentlemen, what are we going to do? I think you're going to have Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre at the Royal Rumble for that rematch. I think that's where that storyline's going. We're going to have Randy Orton get his hands on the bloodline quick, fast, and hurry, leading to him and Roman Reigns at the Royal Rumble, where Randy won't win. Randy will retain the Universal Championship, go on to WrestleMania to defend that title against Cody Rhodes. How does Cody Rhodes get there? Well, Cody Rhodes, I think, should be number one in the Rumble and either have Punk or Gunther as number two. And I think you might want to go with Gunther and CM Punk. They finished up, or Gunther and Cody Rhodes, because they finished up last year's WrestleMania. You start them 1 and 2. I think you could bring Punk in at number 3. I think you could bring in a, let's see, we got Gunther, we got CM Punk. I think you can start bringing in people from there. I think at some point you bring in Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar and Gunther could wind up facing one another here. This is where Gunther could get his first hands on Brock Lesnar, eliminating Brock Lesnar out of the Royal Rumble, causing Brock Lesnar to be very angry and upset with Gunther, leading to Gunther versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania for the Intercontinental title. I think that's how you're going to have it. You're going to have Gunther eliminate him. I think you have Jay and Jimmy Uso in the mix-up in this, and somehow eliminating Jay to lead to Jay versus Jimmy at the Royal Rumble. I think you have Logan Paul and LA Knight. Mix it up a little bit. This may lead to LA Knight and Logan Paul if you have them eliminate one another. At some point, I think you have, maybe you have Randy Orton in this match too. Maybe Randy gets to be in the Rumble and he eliminates Cody to get a kick out of it, which could lead to Cody and Randy down the line. Somebody's going to have to be the catalyst that's going to eliminate Cody. The storyline's going to be there because Cody does not need to win this Rumble. The people that need to win this Rumble are either a CM Punk or Gunther. And the only reason you would have Gunther win the Royal Rumble is if you're going to do CM Punk versus Steve Austin and not CM Punk versus Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. If you're going to do CM Punk versus Seth Rollins at WrestleMania, the only way you're going to get there is by having CM Punk win the Royal Rumble, which makes CM Punk have to, or Seth Rollins have to face CM Punk at WrestleMania, knocking Cody out because we don't want to see Cody go back to back, which means Cody would go on to figure out a way to get into the Elimination Chamber event in Australia to be able to go at it with, I see a little screen blur here. Maybe it's a little more on this side. Let's fix that up. Make sure that's covered. Looking good there. All right. So you're gonna have Cody get in the elimination chamber. Cody's gonna have to survive the elimination chamber to get his hands on Roman Reigns. I think you could even put Randy Orton in that elimination chamber to get a rebound to continue a Cody Randy Orton match, which or storyline, which I think will have Randy turn on Cody after WrestleMania after he beats Roman. Why wouldn't Randy be pissed off? That should have been Randy's big moment to shine. But I think Randy and Roman Reigns is good at Royal Rumble. I know some people disagree with it, think that needs to be a WrestleMania type match, but I think this is where you get Randy set back in the pace. He has a great match with Roman, could be the big challenge that upsets Roman, maybe helps displace some of the other elements in the bloodline leading into WrestleMania to make it a clear path for Cody to win. Eventually, you can have Randy turn on Cody because of this. Cody was able to beat Roman, Randy wasn't. And it's going to be very interesting. But I think you could have a lot of storylines that come out of the Rumble if you build it right. I think Gunther and Brock Lesnar will touch in the Rumble. I think Gunther eliminating Brock Lesnar somehow, maybe like the Drew McIntyre, maybe they counter and Gunther gets the upper hand and eliminates Brock Lesnar. I think there's a great moment that you can have there to plot their plot line. You could have Logan Paul with LA Knight. If Kevin Owens is back, you could have all those people, however you want to go there. I think Royal Rumble is going to be a big return of AJ Styles. I think this is going to be big, but my estimated guess would be CM Punk's probably going to win the Royal Rumble at this point. Change of plans. I would have said that it would probably have been Gunther or Cody. I would have started Cody and Gunther at number 1, number 2. But I'd almost make it now. Gunther either needs to be number 2 or maybe number 3. CM Punk needs to be in those first 5 because CM Punk kind of needs that long run. Because I think if you don't put Punk in any wrestling match, he doesn't get in the ring in WWE until the return at the Rumble. He left in 2014. That was the last match we saw him in. I think if he returns at the Rumble 10 years after he left, you have momentum there. CM Punk has everything to prove. He wants to win this match. I think you can feud CM Punk with Seth Rollins slowly leading into the Rumble, where Seth Rollins is just going to do everything to avoid getting into a match with CM Punk. Could be dangerous, could turn Seth Rollins heel, but it just depends on how they want to play it out. Maybe Seth Rollins is a heel. I know we just recently got him back as a babyface. We'll have to see how all this tension and how all this mounts and grows. It's going to be interesting to see what happens on SmackDown tonight with CM Punk and how everything going forward. We know Randy Orton's probably going to start his position to get it all mixed up with the bloodline because he signed on to SmackDown. But I think you're going to see Randy Orton versus Roman Reigns for the Universal title. Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre for the WWE World title. Io Sky versus Bianca Belair. Hopefully we get Io Sky and Bayley going into WrestleMania for that title. Rhea Ripley, I don't know if she'll defend the title on this show. They may save her and her big match for Elimination Chamber in Australia for a lot of reasons there. But it's going to be a lot of interesting things. Who wins the Women's Royal Rumble? It depends on who's where and what's where and where we are standing at that time. Could Sasha Banks be back to win the Royal Rumble? Could Bayley win the Royal Rumble and then TK on Io Sky? That could be a really great story. Who else is out there in the women division? I don't know who you're going to have that could get the big momentum from winning the Rumble, unless you do Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch could possibly win it to get her match against Rhea Ripley. Could be interesting how that plays out, but I definitely think the men's side, you've got to book Randy Orton versus Roman, Seth Rollins versus Drew. The men's Rumble, you either got to give it to CM Punk or Gunther as the winner, depending on what's going to happen. Cody is going to get eliminated. He can be in the final 4 or 5 and eventually get eliminated, losing his path. He's going to have that adversity, meaning he has to go into the Elimination Chamber with 5 other men, if not more, because we've seen more people get, and to overcome that, to get his shot at Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. I think that's where you're going to take the story. I think this is where your best shot at taking the story is going to be. It's going to be a lot, very interesting. The stories you're going to have to start building. We're going to have to see how it plays out in the future. But the road to WrestleMania, I think you're going to have Punk win the Rumble, most likely Punk versus Seth Rollins at WrestleMania Night 1. Cody's going to go in the Elimination Chamber, win the Elimination Chamber to get his title shot against Roman Reigns. Night 2 of WrestleMania, where he's going to complete the story. You can have Randy in that Elimination Chamber after losing the Roman at the Rumble. Randy is working to get his shot. Cody's going to steal that spotlight, and then it's going to cause Randy to turn on Cody, which is going to be very interesting going forward. I think there's a great storyline there to really tell. I can't wait to see how that one plays out. I would assume Randy might turn on Cody going forward. CM Punk could get Seth Rollins, maybe win the title. Let Seth Rollins go on to different things, and you could have a lot of feuds with CM Punk and a lot of different guys. I know a lot of people probably not like wanting to see Punk at the top, but I think you could really do a lot with CM Punk at the top. Uh, and he could really pass the torch on to a lot of other guys that are coming up. Could we keep Punk in? Could we do a Punk babyface into a heel Punk as the champion, eventually leading to next year's WrestleMania, where he might take on a Sami Zayn? Um, there's a lot of possibilities, but I think right now you're going to have to book Punk to win the Rumble, Roman Reigns versus Randy Orton, Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre. Cody isn't going to win. Io Sky versus Bianca Belair is pretty obvious there. Will we see tag titles on the line? We don't know. But at this point, it's kind of a wait and see, and it's going to get really interesting. But I think this is what you got to do to book the show. I think this is the road to WrestleMania. I think at WrestleMania, we're going to see Logan Paul defend the title against maybe an LA Knight, which would make a lot of sense. Maybe Kevin Owens, the Intercontinental title, Gunther versus Brock Lesnar. I think that's where that needs to happen. I think you have Gunther eliminate Brock Lesnar from the Rumble, setting up their match. And it just depends on how you want that to go. Could you have Brock Lesnar win the Intercontinental title and then lose it back to Gunther down the road? I think you could have a lot of amazing opportunity there. Or you could have, Brock Lesnar beat Gunther. Gunther move on for the Intercontinental title, get Money in the Bank, cash in on a CM Punk, win the title, and then you could have Brock Lesnar versus Gunther for the world title down the line, where they face off in the final battle. Gunther, one of the only men to beat Gunther, was Brock Lesnar. Now this time for the world title. Could change the perspective. Could get very interesting. A lot of opportunity out there. But anyways, I think that's what we're going to say on this show, this end of Book It. We'll talk more next time about other things going on. World's End coming up for AEW. I don't know if there's anything to really talk about how to book that. But with that being said, I thank you for being here. Thank you for taking your time out of your day. Hit the like video if you like this new program. If you want to see more from Book It of how I would book the shows, let me know what you think. Drop your comments down below. If you haven't, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Join the Value Wrestling family. I'm also working on the next flashback of wrestling. Don't know what show to watch yet. I know we're coming into Rumble season, but we're not quite there yet, so I don't know if I want to review Rumble. I may have to dig in and see if there's another good pay-per-view. Maybe it's time to review a TLC match. I don't know. But I'm here on the Big Time. I thank you for joining me, taking time out of your day. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't joined the Value Wrestling family. Make sure you hit that like button. Share this video out with your friends, family, and everybody who loves wrestling. Make sure you ring that bell for notifications because we'll be back. I'll be back tonight along with Paul Escar. We're going to be doing a review on tonight's SmackDown. CM Punk going to be there. Randy Orton going to be there. There's Roman Reigns going to show up. Where it's going to get interesting. Can't wait to see. So join us for that later tonight. So make sure you ring that bell for notifications. But until the next one, I'm out of here. This has been Big Time Books It. I hope you enjoy.